Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. In War of the Visions, let's do the saddest awakening of all time. Then I'll explain why it's so sad. But then we'll switch over to Global. Last part of the video, we'll talk about the select tickets there that they handed out. Alright, but let's head over to Units. And here we have Hyper Helena. Got her 200 shards, so let's awaken her there. Alright, I was able to do this a little under 2 months, and then also for all discount Vision Ore. Didn't have to pay full price for any of her shards, so that is nice. Let's do that. Alright, so now, after I raise her levels and her job levels, she'll be able to go to EX jobs. But that's where the sad thing comes in. When she was released, you could buy 50 of her Mind Spheres from the Mog shop for those rainbow Mog medals. So I have those, and then they added a new quality of life to the Mog shop where you can get Mind Spheres for anybody that you have that's ready to go to EX jobs. I showed that in a previous video, but you go down here to Soul Medals, you hit this red button, and then you get a look. So yeah, we see Helena there. But if you noticed, I have almost no Rainbow Mog medals, and here's where the really sad thing comes in. There is a new Mog shop where you can use those soul medals in order to get stuff. I did not pay enough attention, and so I used a whole ton of soul medals in order to get random stuff like pots, skip tickets, and all that. This is all great, I need this stuff, but the price to buy all of this was way too much. I had about at least 1,100 of the Rainbow Mog medals, which I could have used to get Helena Mind Spheres. I could have gotten 100 and gotten her much closer to job level 22, unit level 115, which is a good stopping point, I think, for EX job units. But now I have none. I can only get 8 of her shards here. I put up a community post talking about this, and people were very kind and sympathetic. Some people were supposing that maybe this was like a trap in order to trick players into wasting their materials that they can use to get stuff that's very kind of expensive, either in game time or in real-life money. I hope that's not the case. I hope that's not the point of this shop, because that would be very crappy. But again, this is the first time that this has happened, and then they put it at the top, so it looks like kind of like a limited time Mog shop with limited time currency. And I just had a bunch of currency, and I was like, oh, I guess they handed this out. Again, I didn't pay enough attention. But that hurts. That really hurts. I was hoping I could get my Helena to, like, unit level 115 by 2 months mark, which would have been tomorrow. I would have gone a little bit over even with those extra 100 Mind Spheres, but you wait, 2 months for a character, because that's what I was doing with, that's what I've been doing with all of my cost 100 units. And so this is something that I was looking forward to for 2 months, but then hit this roadblock and have it pushed back, boy, another month, maybe another 2 months? That really stinks. And if you saw my polls for Helena, then you know that she's played with my heart before, and I don't like that. I have Vineta here on my home screen because she has never played with my heart. And I have 400 of her Mind Spheres just because I got her naturally through polls, and then she's going to get her EX jobs next week. So I will awaken her. And then I'm going to put Helena on the back burner until I don't know when. But yeah, cost 100 units, just don't like them. Helena, she's got to be the last one. Cost 100 units are great, they're very strong and they're easy to use. But just the investment that they take, I just can't deal with that anymore. Okay, let's switch over to Global. Let's talk about those select tickets. Okay, here we are in Global. I was surprised that they handed out these beginners select tickets to everybody. But then Global has surprised me many, many times by how generous they have been. But first we have the one ticket for the select unit, so you can get, the unit for whomever you like. I think it's a good idea to pick up somebody that you don't have, just so you can, you know, check that box. If you remember from before, it took me the full year in order to get my first pull of Edide, so you never know what's going to happen. But actually, I was looking through here. I have everybody. And then this is my free-to-play account, so I haven't had to do any extra pulls. I have everybody except for Sakura, so actually let's pick her up. I was thinking about getting El Shirel, but I got her a couple days ago in the free pulls, the free guaranteed UR pulls that they handed out, so that checked that box. Alright. Of course, you could also use that ticket in order to get 40 shards for a character, and then the rainbow orb. Alright, and then we have the select unit shards times 100. This is maybe a more difficult choice. And I don't really have any advice. I'll just give kind of overall impressions for what might be the best picks. But like anybody that is maybe available in the Mog shop, maybe hold off on them. Like Jiza, for example. Probably don't need to use the tickets to get her. There are many other ways to get her. Other handout units like Mediana, Kiton, people like that. Oh, MR units. Maybe some people are considering doing this so that they can take on the selection quests. I would hold off on that for now. I'll talk more about selection quests soon. The Earth selection quests are kicking my butt, but hopefully I can get a video about that out later. But good recommendations? Maybe a regular Stern? If you really want to make a dark slash team for raids, he's a very good addition there. Also, if you're planning on getting like Hyper Helena or Garble, or if you have a Dwayne already, you can make a strong PvP team there. Let's see... Oh, Rain! I still think Rain is one of the best characters in the game. You can't use him everywhere, but he's really good. And I've heard a lot of people say that you shouldn't get him unless you have his sword, like he's useless without his sword. I don't think so. I mean, of course it raises his magic so that his attacks can do more damage. But in JP now, nobody uses him for damage, even with his sword. And if they ever release a greatsword where it gives him some other kind of stat, like lots of HP, or maybe spirit, or agility or something, I think those are going to be the better choices than his Crimson Blade, so I wouldn't get too hung up on his sword. If you want a good magic tank, if you want a good chainer for like slash or fire stuff, then he's terrific. Kirufe is good all around. Ododoa, her Trustmaster, could be really good, but maybe make sure that your guys can equip it before going for her. Nivlu, she's one of the better choices. Even if her damage does not keep up, she's just so good for all kinds of utility that she would be worth having. But like lots of breaks, Barrier Break I think it was, and Dispel, that's a very strong ability. And then with the Time Mage, she can use Quick, which is very useful for PvP, so she's really good. She has a long lifespan as well. I will probably go for her, especially since I don't have Federica on this account, so that could cover my lightning projectile niche. And then speaking of Federica, I think of all of the early characters to get EX jobs, she's maybe the best, along with like Christmas Mashiri, Gilgamesh, people like that, so it could be worth finishing her off. Who else is good? Oh, Garble. He's great. Still on top of the meta. Maybe he's maybe like a tier lower, maybe, than like the cost 100 units, but he's still very good. El Shirel, here comes a punch. Might be a good sleeper pick. But yeah, very strong. And again, if you have the Exorcist Vision card, that raises her stock. And then definitely one of the better light/chainers that is not limited, so if you're short on that, she might be a good choice. Alright, so those were some quick thoughts about the select tickets in Global. Oh, and then going back to the JP situation, I sent a letter asking to get my stuff refunded. I haven't gotten an answer back, yes or no, but I'll keep you updated. It'll probably be a community post, but we'll see. If they give it back to me, maybe I'll make a video about that. Alright, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. Take care.